Hi, it's Jesse with a member update for the end of July. Let's start with some good news. The world of salmon is generally looking pretty good this summer, and a lot of the returns are coming back better than predicted. It's really nice to get some good news in this world because it's been quite a few years of challenges. Anyways, we just hosted a webinar on the sustainability of pink fishery on the Fraser last night with Dr. Marvin Rosenow. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, I would definitely recommend having a look. I learned a pile. He's a wealth of information, lots of really good engagement. For all intents and purposes, it looks like there will be a public fishery as it relates to pinks on the Fraser, which is good news. It means there's a lot of fish. It means that fish are doing relatively well, and it's a great recreational fishery for people to get out with their friends and family on the Fraser and some of the tributaries of the Fraser. Getting a lot of questions about Sckeye fishery and whether we'll have one. That's more touch and go. The early fish look really good. The summers, the catching data is starting to suggest that they're going to come back really strong as well. The challenge in that world is going to be the late summers. Some of those runs have been returning quite low. They're also entering the river relatively early, which means a lot of kind of en route mortality. So we'll keep our eye on the ball and ensure that, first of all, that fishing is sustainable, meaning conservation comes first. And then if there's an opportunity and things are looking good, we will definitely spend some time advocating for those outcomes. We are going to have a Learn to Fish webinar as it relates to fishing pinks on the Fraser with Fred Helmer on August 13th. So put that in your calendar. If you ever experienced the fishery or if you haven't tried it and you're new to fishing, it's going to be a great opportunity. Fred has decades and decades and decades of experience on the Fraser, and so he's going to go through techniques, tackle, working with other people, getting along on the river, some of the etiquette that we expect. So a great learning opportunity for folks. We're also going to be doing a Learn to Hunt, focusing in on mule deer on August 21st. So August 13th is Learn to Fish, and it's going to focus on pinks in the Fraser, and then the Learn to Hunt will be on mule deer August 21st. In the other part of land management in BC, the Northwest Land Use Planning process, we put a video out a few weeks ago talking about it. Consultation has been extended. It goes till August 8th. BCWF has some principles around it, which will be in this member update. The big thing that we're really concerned about is, of course, conservation first and the impacts that non-renewable resource has on fish, wildlife, and habitat. And then secondly, around public access, because we've certainly experienced a number of challenges in the past where resource extraction comes with limiting public access and not using science-based wildlife management. So that's a big concern. Make sure you get your feedback in around principles by August 8th. This process is going to go on for a year. There'll be other opportunities to provide feedback, but we really want to ensure that everybody who cares about getting out, camping, hiking, hunting, and fishing gets their feedback in to say, hey, we don't want you to trade this off for resource extraction. We believe that people who go out and spend time with their family in the woods get to do that in perpetuity as long as it's sustainable. The other piece around engaging governments, the federal government has a pre-consultation going on around the next year's budget. There is a piece that mentions the federal buyback program for firearms. So make sure you get your submission in, make sure your voice is heard. The deadline for that is August 28th. I want to thank Rick Hansen for our day out on the Fraser, where we talked about access, conservation, and how we can work together, as well as Fishing Forever and getting people of all ages and abilities out and engaged in fishing. CWD workshop, Osceola hosted an awesome workshop on the weekend. We had the conservation officer service was there. We had our reps from the CWD program from the province were there. We had two MLAs, MLA Wilson and Dew, as well as the mayor of Lake Country, Mayor Blair Ireland. So great turnout. We showed people how to, look and pull samples out. We showed people how to prepare an animal for transportation if it comes in the CWD zone. Really good feedback, lots of learning. Appreciate everybody that came out. Great job to the folks in Region 8. Nick and Jody, thanks Osceola for hosting it. Great lunch. Thanks to all the volunteers. Awesome workshop. And yes, we will look to do those in other parts of the province. Seems like there's a lot of opportunity there to help engage and educate people. Lastly, we've been spending a lot of time advocating for things like sustainability of fish and wildlife, conservation, and public access, both provincially and federally. Last week, we met with the Minister of Environment and Climate Change Canada, Talked about our priorities as it relates to restoration and funding conservation activities. On the ground stewardship is big in our world. Of course, we have issues around invasive species, chronic wasting disease, the marine environment, freshwater environment, things like beaver dam analogs, fish habitat restoration, controlled and prescribed burns, and then public access. There's a lot there. We're working hard on your behalf. Hope everybody is enjoying the summer, getting out, doing some fishing and hunting. It's going to be the sheep opener tomorrow. Anybody who's heading up, please make sure you're safe. Please make sure that you're getting around, you're counting to 8 and getting at least 8 or 9 rings. We want to make sure that the harvest is sustainable so that future generations of British Columbians can go out and enjoy sheep hunting. That's it for now. Have a great August long weekend. Talk to you soon.